Hi everybody, welcome to Frontier Unlocked. It's been yet another month and thank you so much for joining us on our monthly catch-up of all things Frontier. I'm Sam and I am joined on the couch with the lovely Arthur. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. I've been told I've caught some colour, so I have burnt my egg appropriately for the show, so I've spent some time in the sunshine.
Yes, you are looking appropriately. Summertime, you're looking really good.
Thank you. I'm asking you to really dip some toast in there whenever you're ready.
There we go.
But yeah, it's great to be here. Also, chat's going mad, so hello,
yes.
chat.
Hello, chat. Hello. See if we can catch any names.
I mean, it's going to be a job.
Going a bit, yeah.
Let's have a look through here.
Agrovic 77, hello. Well, we got
Rhetoric, Dead Vitalik. I'm going to murder some of these names, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Commander Drayden, hello there.
The easy one.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
There we go. Leaf there, hello Leaf. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
We can see YouTube as well. Hello Orange Phoenix.
Hello everyone.
Hello everyone. Hello. Big 07s, big hey-os to all of our Frontier family. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining. Awesome. We have got a fantastic show for you guys today. Lots to get through. Arthur, you want to tell everybody what we're going to be taking a look at today?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, in a moment, we'll be joined by our very special, almost part of the furniture guests. We have Rich and Adam are back on to talk about Planet Coaster 2 and Update 6, which is very exciting. Then for more news for our Planet family, we have more news for Planet Zoo on PC as well as on console, some news there. And then finally, we'll be sitting down with the wonderful Curtis to talk about Elite Dangerous, the Vanguard's update and what we're doing with squadrons that's within Vanguard. So it's a lot to get through.
Lots to get through. And of course, we've got our drops as well. So all you have to do is watch for 20 minutes and you'll be able to get them. We have got it on screen now. There it is. These look very, very, very cool. Hey?
That's the Asp Scout Synth. I think there's a kind of like synthy noise. I can't do it. It's just terrible. And then that is, of course, is the Corvette. I once mistook the Corvette for an Anaconda, and Sidekick never let me live it down. But I was only looking at its rear end, and I'm not good with rear ends. So, anyways, moving on.
Swiftly along.
Moving swiftly along.
Awesome.
But yes, 20 minutes to watch that, but make sure you claim it, because if you don't claim your drops, you will not be eligible to take them home with you.
Yes, you'll be missing out on big time there. Yes, and we've also got our giveaway as well.
Yes.
We've got some very, very cool prizes
They're over here somewhere, Sam. We've got, hang on a minute, we've got it's a Corsair mechanical keyboard. Ooh, there we go. It's a Corsair. We've got one of those. We have got the Planet Zoo vinyl soundtrack. We've got an Elite soundtrack. We've got a beanie. We've got some pin badges, and we've got a Planet Zoo press kit.
Amazing,
so there's a lot to be won.
Yeah, so much to get through. Yeah, lovely stuff, you guys. And I think for that, all you have to do is, it's not open yet.
No,
so we will let you know when that comes a bit later. There we go. Cool, but yes, let's get on with the show. As you were saying earlier, we have got the lovely Rich and Adam back on the couch. Hello, you guys.
Welcome back. How are you?
Good. I'm okay. Still trying to recover from you trying to make me laugh.
I wasn't trying to make you laugh.
You do it on purpose now.
Never.
But I managed to catch it this time, so
good
job.
Good job. Well done you.
You're so strong, Az. Well done. Cool.
Good stuff.
But yeah, welcome back, you guys. So we're going to be chatting about Update 6 today as well. But so for Update 5, it's not been quite released yet, but I believe it's going to be out tomorrow, which is awesome.
We're living in all places, all at the time, all at once.
The first Unlocked where the update isn't out yet. So normally it's either last week or...
I think it was just after last time.
It's like the first time we've done 2 shows before the update's out. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Update 5 is tomorrow.
Update 5 comes out tomorrow. Really exciting.
We're going to be talking about Update
6 tonight. Yeah.
Yes. We won't press you on too much for Update 5. If you do want to see what's in Update 5, there is a highlights video on YouTube. Please go and check it out if you want to see it. It features this lovely man, I think, and your voice.
Both our lovely voices.
Yeah, there you go. So, no face, but
no faces.
Yeah, just the voices.
The best bit.
Got a face for radio.
Yeah.
And the unlocked stream.
Well, I think you're beautiful. Inside and out.
Thank you.
Right, moving on.
Awesome. Well, let's jump in. So we're going to be looking at first look at Update 6. And just to caveat a little bit, this is obviously all very work in progress.
Very work in progress build.
Because we are, as I say, pre-update 5 even going out. This is very early on what we're doing for update 6. So
probably the earliest you've ever looked at a build,
I think so. Yeah, I think so. There's stuff that we'll talk about as we go through, but yeah, work in progress. There's things here that may be changing during the course of us developing the rest of update 6. There may be some work in progress assets that you see that might change as well. So but it's the spirit of what we're trying to get
super
across.
top level look at stuff.
We want
And
to
it's
show you
nice,
in-game.
yeah. We want to come and show you what even at this early stage. Come and join us for the journey and have a look at what we're doing.
100%. Yeah,
Cool.
100%. Awesome. Cool.
All right, let's take a look then. Where are we going to start?
Let's get to the end.
We are starting at normally when we do these things, we kind of do them in an order.
Just
We're
mixing it up
going to
tonight.
mix it up. We're going to start with a returning ride from the original Planet Coaster, and this is the Coriolis.
Yes.
Not a spinning cube space station, but in fact a spinny ride.
Yeah, let's
It's
not
a
mix it
spin
up. Yep.
Yeah, it's not a space station, but it does spin. It's another flat ride that I wouldn't particularly like going on. I don't think. I'm afraid. I do
learn
like.
more.
I
the-
still can't believe there's a ride you don't like going on.
Yeah.
I'm not with this. I'm not for the spinners either.
It's a bit spinny, but wonderful. I can't wait to see how people will customise it. Lots of options there available, as with all of our rides. So start putting the new themes on and whatnot, and see how you get along. Yeah, looking forward to seeing that one.
Nice. And is that the only ride we've got? We've got a D-themed ride as well, haven't we?
We have
not?
two
D-themed
Two
rides.
D-themed coasters in update
Yeah.
6. So the first one is the water coaster, and what a coaster this is!
What?
Oh, hang on a minute.
What a coaster this is!
Cool.
Very
This,
good.
the pun
there
game
we
is,
go.
I
There
think
you
it's
go.
on.
Yeah.
We're starting. So yes, it's a D-themed version of the water coaster, so it doesn't have as much of the detailing on the front, so our players can decorate it with some, as Adam says, with the scenery and the theming. So.
Big fan of the name, the old hydrophobia.
Yeah, it's the fear of the bad guys from the Marvel movies.
Oh, I thought it was
Fear of
basically
water.
Oh, maybe it's that actually. Yeah.
Speaking of water, I'm looking at water right now and it looks pretty good.
Yes, I have noticed in the chat as well that some people have noticed that perhaps the trough here of the water coaster looks a bit more improved, and it has been. And that's actually coming in update 5.
So tomorrow.
So tomorrow,
you'll get that.
You'll get this. If you look at the changelog, there's a section where we're talking about the improvements to some of the water tracked rides or water coasters, and this is what that looks like. So
Lovely
pretty
stuff.
pretty
Yeah.
impressive stuff there.
That looks
Very,
great.
very
Looks
nice.
great.
Very, very nice. Cool.
But because I just saw one comment there, not everything you're seeing tonight is coming tomorrow.
Right.
That is.
We will
bit is-
specifically call it out.
And
But
this
not
is-
everything you're
Yeah.
seeing tonight comes tomorrow.
And this is why it's
that might
slightly
get really
confusing.
confusing if you're watching this back. So
because of
yeah,
it's out. Update 5 is out tomorrow. We're trying to show you update 6. There's going to be this stuff that's a bit of in tomorrow, and we are going to try and call out as
Try and
much
call
as we
it out.
can for clarity for everyone.
Pretty much 99% of what we're going to talk about is update 6. However, this bit of water is update 5.
that bit of water tomorrow. But you won't be able to de-theme this water coaster tomorrow
Right. Have you got that, chat?
because the de-theme coaster is coming in 6.
Water tomorrow,
up, yeah.
coaster tomorrow, but not a D-theme coaster tomorrow.
There you
All
go.
right?
There you are.
Got it?
That's
There you
clear.
go. So
That's
easy.
as clear as that
Exactly.
water.
I know
There
what's
we
going
are.
on.
Good. Made sense.
Yeah, there'll be a test afterwards. Yeah.
Don't
It's
have
all very
it, please.
straightforward. Thank you, chat. Yes, it is good. Yes.
Thank you for keeping with us.
Okay.
There's a second D-theme coaster in this one, and it
Yes.
is the MC Mine Train,
Ooh.
There it is.
Look at that. Classic.
Lovely.
which is
But-
as
That's
rat
a
names
classic.
go, it's pretty good.
I'm going to
So,
change it
this-
up again and just jump onto first person mode and
Yeah.
do a ride this one. Very
So this
quickly.
one again, taking away some of the scenery off it, and kind of made it so that players can add some extra scenery bits to it. So
Of course, all those
Nice.
D-theme scenery pieces are then available for players to...
not on these two. These
Oh, okay.
ones didn't have the
Oh, the
big-
individual
the
pieces,
individual
yes, of course
pieces.
didn't,
So
yeah,
we've just
sorry.
taken off some of the markings or
Yeah.
the detailing on it, but there wasn't actually a scenery bit to it. So,
So they're now a blank canvas.
So they're more of a
Blank
blank canvas.
canvas,
Whilst,
yeah,
yes, the
exactly that,
previous
yeah.
10, I think, all had scenery pieces separately. These two don't.
All right.
For a-
So there we go. We're ready to have a little
On board.
ride on the...
I'm afraid I'm waiting for a full ride. Hang on 1 second.
There you go.
Hold, please, caller.
Hold, please, caller. I did say it's live build.
Anything can happen.
It's fine.
There we go.
We'll get there. We're going to take another seat.
No doubt.
Also,
It's
shout
all,
out to Rich
nice
for
shooting.
again adding in Rich Hudson. Sorry for getting
Yes.
the park in shape because he's been adding to this as we do each of these shows.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's interesting actually, and you'll probably have to talk more of this, Sam, because we build the parks for the show to show things off rather than to be like a functional park,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
because that kind of the idea of the show is to show what's changing,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah, he's done an amazing job with
Yeah.
this. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
been a legend. He's supported us with these save games for months now, and makes it so much easier to demonstrate the amazing work of the team because we have such a great showcase for it.
100%, 100%.
There we go. So I think we may be having. Oh, someone's running to a seat.
Got a few more people coming on.
No
Just
more
wait.
running. No running, please.
What Rich hasn't done, I don't think, is set up the load rules very well for good throughput. Because it's
So
waiting
we've-
too long in the station for a full load.
Oh, right.
Or
So what we'll have to do
not,
is.
not long enough, or not short enough for a half load to leave the station. We could just move on to the next section.
We could, but we had the whole thing planned. It was going to be really cool and really fun. But if we can't, we can't. And we've just had to skip to the end and show people what we were trying to do.
There we go.
Oh, there's two. Look at where those kids are.
Just enough time for me to now go. And here's the ride.
There we go.
Wonderful. Yeah.
I do enjoy that we
Just
wait
wait.
for
There
two
we
really
go.
tight kids to run
To
the
read
coaster.
and then go
They should
goodbye.
goodbye.
Not
Yeah.
good enough for you. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's nice, as we were saying before. Rich puts a lot of work into these parks. It's
Yeah.
nice to sometimes just experience the track layout
Just to
because
take
not
it
only is
in,
he
just
a
take a
fantastic
moment,
creative builder, he actually does know how to build a good roller coaster as well.
Yeah,
He does,
yeah.
yes.
Sometimes
Yeah,
nice just
incredibly talented. Yeah.
to show off the spectacle that is the ride as well.
I always go home after one of these shows and play Panic Coaster and try and emulate, and I'm nowhere near as good.
very
I just don't have the
inspiring.
mind for it. I don't have the mind for it.
I can't either. I'm running a little series in the office with a Let's Play where I play for an hour every Friday and sort of just have a whole team come and watch me. And I'm not a creative player, so everyone keeps lambasting me for my lack
There's
of
a good word.
creativity. But it's a different way of playing, right?
100%.
It's
Every
you know,
way
I
is
utilise
equal,
the
yeah,
blueprint
yeah.
system and all that
Yeah,
sort of pre-made creativity.
But that's the beauty of the game, right? You can play it however you want. You can
Exactly,
go as
yes.
crazy as you want, use as big as you want, or just keep it nice and simple. It doesn't matter.
There
Lovely.
we
So
go.
we've done the
So I've done the
little tour there
thing.
now, and
And now I'm at the exit of this ride.
what's
Oh.
this?
This looks like a bit of a different area, doesn't it?
Yeah. This
Wonder
is
what's
looking
down
quite
here.
Cool.
You're so casual about these.
So casual.
segues.
Yeah.
Silky.
Eking down.
So this is a modular souvenir shop that we are bringing as part of Update 6.
Very
Ah,
exciting. Very
nice.
exciting.
A popular one by the look of things as well.
Yeah,
So,
very
lots going
popular.
on in
so
here.
this is a really cool idea, and I think our players have been asking for this. But this is so tell us a bit more about what we'll be able to do with the modular souvenir shop. I'm going to get this wrong. I'm going to call it gift shop. I'm going to call it souvenir shop. I'm sorry, I'm only human.
It's fine.
But
The key thing is they are modular souvenir shops. We have souvenir shops in the game already for various brands, but these are modular because you have a counter and you have displays, and you identify. You can then figure out which merchandise, souvenirs to put on your displays. You can then separate them a bit like the restaurants, which you had the kitchen and the tables,
Yeah.
and this way we have a counter and displays. You connect them all up, and your guests will navigate between them as they purchase
Very cool.
souvenirs.
So lots of
Okay.
inspiration from Planet Zoo and the way that implemented its modular souvenir shop. But there's some improvements, just like the restaurants as well. We sort of added a little extra to it. So, for example, here, unlike Planet Zoo, where you had to place down the sort of blueprint, like the layout of it, the flooring, and
Yeah.
then you could expand it with the tiles. Here, we're just using the standard pathing system,
Right.
and then placing these things on that path system. What that allows you to do is to connect them to the exit of a ride and create the through passage.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Very realistic. Right?
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
still create those closed off shops if you want to.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can create this thing where I can walk through the shop, I can buy my souvenirs I want to, and then carry on through to the park the rest
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah, like you
know.
would, kind of like in a normal
exactly,
space. That's
exactly.
so
Like
cool.
we've all
That's so
experienced
cool, you
at
guys.
theme parks.
Amazing.
And we're looking at ways of being able to allow players to quickly set shelves up as well with sort of I want to sell mug categories, and as as you put the shelves down, the mugs will then start to appear. But also looking at the flexibility of changing what you are displaying on your shelves as well. So giving lots of sort of layers of management and
That's very nice. Yeah.
choices to it, you know.
Yeah.
And the items on the shelves, we're going to put them as scenery pieces
nice.
as well.
This, I was going to ask about
So
this.
if
Yeah.
you want to make those window displays showing what's in a souvenir shop, you're going to have them as items that you can then use to decorate or
or do whatever you want with. Who
Very
knows what
cool.
our players will do with this?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is one thing I do. Oh, sorry, no, go.
No, and they all function exactly the same as the other scenery pieces, so you can scale them.
You can
move
scale.
them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
they'll all be there.
Yeah.
As many as we can. You know, we need to sort of go through what the inventory list is and how it makes all sort of sense and stuff. But yes,
Yeah.
the aim is to give you these scenery items as well.
Lovely stuff.
Can I have a look at one of the scenery in the corner there? Because I spied what appears to be puzzles.
Yes.
But I looked at this earlier and I was like, the detail on this is so cool, right?
Yeah.
Because it
Very
actually
nice.
says how many pieces it is. It's a 720 piece puzzle. And Sam, am I right in saying these are screenshots from the creative team that have been used?
They are, and they're beautiful. Look at the detail there; it's so stunning. It's lovely. Some from Mel there, some from Rich as well. We've got the lovely key art there as well. Yeah, lovely stuff there.
Adam and I are starting a Planet Coaster 2 jigsaw company, if you'd like to invest. That's why we're here.
This is your GoFundMe.
So this is our GoFundMe.
Sorry,
So,
links in the chat. It's not
Okay,
chat.
gotcha.
Sorry. I'll
This
get
is just a
double.
peek of what we
Moonlighting as puzzle guys. Okay, cool.
But there's also something different here about the tills as well, right? So that you can do more than
Yes,
one.
what we're looking at the moment is also being able to connect more than one till into a shop. So we're sort of developing this idea of it being a complex that you could perhaps put more than one till down to then maybe service more people or build bigger shops and things like that. So you'd have the sort of concept of this layer of a complex over the top or a shop. And then within it, you'd have tills, which you can see in the corner
Or
there.
cash registers
or maybe
if
cash
you're
registers if you're watching in America. That's what they call them over there. Just to give you some more flexibility on how you want to set your shop up and
awesome.
get that throughput through again.
Nice.
Yeah, so many different ways to engage with it. That's so cool, you guys. Yeah.
Very cool.
What's that? What's that big
What,
square?
this over here?
Yeah, well, it's not square, but it's a
It's not
oblong.
a square, no, but it is a very different looking counter, isn't it, compared to the till that we've just been talking about?
Yeah. What's that for?
I wonder what that could be.
That is for our on-ride photo feature, part of Update 6. So
Very nice.
we have counters, and we're going to have a new shop, the photo kiosk shop.
Yep.
So a bit like the other shops that we have, it'll be an empty shell. I'm going to do a blueprint as well. But these counters can be used as part of the on-ride photos feature. So
Yes.
you can, as Adam says with the modular souvenir shops, you can put counters inside that area. Your guests will then buy their photos. The TV as well is a custom billboard. So this is like a combination of the counter and the billboards, because as part of the on-ride photo work feature, you're going to be able to put a trigger point on your coaster track. It will then connect to a counter, so your guests will then know where to buy the photo from, and then you can put the feed from the camera on a billboard as well.
It's quite George Lucas. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
As what we've got on the screen is
there we
a
go.
mock-up. So this is not in game at the minute.
Yeah.
This is a work in progress mock-up of the intention of what we're going to do. So we're going to have a picture-in-picture view of the camera. So you're going to place it where you want on your track. It's the quality of the photo, is dependent on the EFN. So if you put your camera point in a place that's really exciting, it's a good photo. You're going to get a good photo. Your guests will then want to buy it. So the quality of the photo affects how many people are going to buy it from your shop that you've got connected. So good photos, more money.
Yeah.
Basically.
Makes sense.
Very nice.
Lots of happy people in chat, and also the picture-in-picture thing is really cool. Really cool to see that.
And
cool.
you don't have to put the billboard and the counter together. So if you just want to have, here's the camera and the coaster, go buy it from this counter, you can do that. Or you can just have, here's the camera and here's a TV, and it's just showing you the photos. You don't even have to have them set up to be sold. It's just here's a feed of some nice
Literally,
photos.
do it your way, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're looking forward to people connecting them both, having that really nice area, as Adam put in game, of inside where the souvenir shops, inside that exit, because that's where you're going to expect us to
Again,
be.
as Sam was saying before, it's what if you go to a theme park, that's what you experience. You come
Yeah.
off the ride, you have your photo counter at the side, you have a look at yourself and go, yeah, I'll buy that photo. And then you move on, and there's the merchandise, and that's what we were showing before, that idea that you've got those two counters if you want to. Or, as Rich was saying before as well, we're going to provide the 4x4 standard kind of facility shop that you can just place down, link it to that camera, and then
job done.
Very
players,
nice, you guys.
guests
People
can pay it
are
that
so
way, yeah.
happy. The chat's super stoked, which is awesome. So
There we go.
making
We're really
lots of
excited
people very
on
happy.
this one.
at the moment.
It's great seeing it's starting to come together.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
really nice.
And I think there was something else you guys also wanted to touch on as
Yes,
well.
we're looking at a few other sort of quality of life improvements, such as we're looking at some more audio settings, so you can tweak the volume of your flat rides or your coasters, and I think there are some other options in the audio settings as well.
That's park wide, so you can adjust the balance of all the coasters in your park. If you're finding those a bit too loud for your ear, you can just turn them down a bit. Same with the water park. So there's like a global per setting control of some of those things as well.
Nice.
And we're looking
Lovely.
at providing some playlists as well for the music, for the predefined theme music that you can play on the ambient speakers. So you could have like a rolling Viking playlist and things if you wanted to do that as well. And of course, on top of lots of other bug fixes and quality of life enhancements that will be coming along with Update 6.
Nice. Just making it better and better. That's awesome.
And obviously, we've got a new theme.
Well, we have got a new thing, yeah.
We have got anything, unless you've got another pun, but we have got anything, right?
Well,
we've got no more puns.
there's-
It's been months of puns.
It's
Please
a very.
no more.
I've actually got a serious thing here. After the last show, apparently no one likes my puns, right? And my boss put me aside and said, "Look, you've got to stop the puns. otherwise I'm going to make you walk the plank.
Why would you?
And I said, well, that's quite an extreme reaction.
That actually hurt.
So,
But why would you make that kind of pun? Why would you make?
Oh, should we?
I think we're just going to have to roll.
it wasn't a pun, don't get me fired. No
Yeah.
pun there.
Fine.
No pun there.
I
So
think
I
we
don't
should
want to
just
have to
roll
walk the
the
plank.
teaser.
Well, shiver my timbers. So, what are we looking at if we don't even know? So tell us.
Last
Yeah,
month
yeah.
we sat here and we said we've added update 6 to the spring roadmap, and it has a new theme, and it's been really exciting the last few months doing these updates and getting. And is it the new update? We thought we'd do 2 themes at once.
Why not?
At once.
Crazy.
When
just
we can
crazy,
do one,
you
why not
guys.
just do 2?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's 2.
So we've got fairy
all
tale
in. Amazing.
and pirate
Yeah.
in update 6.
Fantastic. So that's all the themes. That's all the themes back now.
That is
yeah?
all
Yeah,
the
that's
original
all the
themes
base
from the
game.
initial
Incredible,
release
you
of Planet,
guys.
the
Incredible.
original one. So yeah.
So
Yeah.
kind of update 6. Well, you have been busy then, haven't you? You've been beavering away in the background, you and the team.
Yeah, the team
They've
have been
incredibly
so
busy.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's quite a
Amazing
thing to experience and be part of.
Yeah, so we look, obviously there's the roadmap as it stands. So obviously
Yeah.
looking at arriving in June with those 2 themes confirmed now. So
2
it's
themes,
pirate and
yeah.
fairy tale. Plus, you've got the D theme coasters.
2 D theme
and you've
coasters.
got you're going to have the on-ride photos. You're going to
Yep.
have the gift shop. You've got the Coriolis coming back.
Yep.
You've also got new water physics, or not physics, new water
Visuals.
arriving
Yep.
tomorrow.
In 5.
Arriving tomorrow. You have been eating well today. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that pun was worth getting fired for if this is my last show. So,
From the cannon.
yeah. From now on.
Hey, here we
Oh,
go.
that's good. That was really good.
Right.
Yeah.
As always, it's so lovely to have you on the
Always a
sofa.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Always a
thank
pleasure.
you guys. Thank you. And yeah, thank you for all the amazing work and to the team and everything.
Thank you
It's
to all the
absolutely
team.
incredible. Absolutely
Everyone involved in
incredible.
Planet Coaster 2 have done
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
work for this,
Yeah.
for this spring
Honestly.
roadmap.
And thank you to the players for carrying on playing
Yeah.
with us,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah, yeah.
And sticking with us and
Yeah.
carrying on playing and creating all these incredible things.
Cool. All right, well, it goes without saying, we'll probably have you back on the sofa probably next month. So
Let's do it.
let's just do it.
Awesome.
All right, I think in order to let you two run off the camera, we're going to play that teaser for the new themes one more time.
Awesome. That is so cool. There's so much coming for Planet Coaster. It's incredible, honestly.
I think people will be very surprised to see that there are 2 themes coming in
I
June.
know, I know.
For Planet Coaster 2, Pirate and Fairy Tale.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much again to Rich and the whole team are so busy working on Planet Coaster 2 all day, every day. So, thank you.
100%. And we're super excited to see what you guys are going to build with those themes as well. That's the thing. We know you guys are going to get in there and create amazing things. We've also just opened the giveaway, I believe. Looking over.
Yeah,
Yes,
getting
I'm seeing
nods
some
from-
nodding.
Producer Adam is nodding. Yeah.
Yes. So, yes, if you want to get involved with that, all you need to do is put in the chat exclamation pirate. That's exclamation pirate.
It
to
is
enter.
case sensitive, so make sure you don't tap any extra capital letters in there, but it's exclamation mark pirate, and you'll be
Pirate.
straight into enter.
Lovely stuff.
Good luck.
Yes, but yeah, now on with the show. We're going to be moving on to Planet Zoo, starting off with PC. So last month we took a quick look, or at least we hinted towards.
You said something.
We mentioned that we're going to be having another animal pack coming later this year. Now, we're not able to talk much more about it. We're not able to reveal any more details. However, what we thought we would do is show you guys the artwork that has been worked on by our design team in the background, show you what that's going to be looking like.
There it is, look at that.
Yeah, give you a bit of a tease of what's coming and let you kind of like extrapolate what you want. But yeah, it's beautiful. I think it's a lovely, lovely, lovely piece of work there from the design team. Big shout out to them. Such incredibly talented people we work with, honestly.
Yeah. And all the artwork they do is always phenomenal. And this is great. And also, what I do love watching is our community sort of pull this stuff apart and try working out like where they are, what it's going to be, and all the animals that might be in it. So I'm very curious to see what comes. But obviously, that is they're very cuddly, very friendly.
Yes.
It's the honey badger, right?
It's the honey badger. Just wants to snuggle, that
Just
one.
wants just a little cuddle. He's got the cuddle claws that he's got there.
There we go. Yeah,
there you go.
Happy boy.
They're very happy. But we can't show any more than that, really, can we?
No,
we
unfortunately
can't.
not. No. Nothing else there. But yeah, if you do want to kind of keep up to date with anything around this release, you can just keep an eye on our socials at Planet Zoo Game.
Nice. All right, but it's not just PC players. Obviously, I think it's the 14th of May, we released the Barnyard pack, I think, it came out.
Yes.
So there might be some footage of that that's coming out here. So that came out on console, featuring 14 new animals. I'm not going to read all of them. The Highland cattle, the Sussex chicken. I know people like the chicken. The sheep, the Tamworth pig, etc. The Palace cat, the Hamadryas baboon. I'm reading these, chat, if you can't tell. I'm definitely cheating by looking at it. There are more than 150 scenery pieces, straw bales, etc., etc. A variety of lanterns, benches, and additional seating for guests to stop and rest between the habitats, plus 2 new campaign scenarios.
There you go. You can see them on screen here. We've got the scenarios there playing out.
The main event. I do like the puns.
We love
Pun game is strong. I wonder
if
Adam's had any of this. The main event is one of the scenarios.
If he's
there.
not, you should get in there.
He should.
Pun game is strong.
Yes. But just to reiterate, obviously, that this is not part of the season pass. This is sold separately. So if you do want to pick it up, you can pick it up right now. It's $11.99, $14.99, or $14.99 in euros. But it is available right now if you get your hands on that Sussex Chicken and Co.
Yes.
So there we go.
Get in there.
And I think to play us out, we actually have a trailer for this pack, I believe. Producer Adam, I've got a nod. Yes, he's an excited nod. So we'll play that trailer out while we get our next guest ready for the show. Ta-da! So that is the Barnyard Animal Pack available now for consoles. So that's a lovely trailer. But we are going to start, before we start the segment, we are going to close off the competition. So if you have entered, you can stop doing exclamation mark pirate because it will get you nothing. All the booty is going to go to one lucky winner in a moment, which producer Adam will let us know who that winner is. And I'm sure he will type it somewhere on screen for me and Sam to miss because it's so small. The writing's so small, Sam. Look at it. It's tiny.
It's crazy.
All right, should we do our next segment?
Yeah, let's move on. Moving
All
on
right.
to Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous. Yeah. So before we get into this segment, we do have a guest for you, but I just want to reiterate, we did say it last month, and I'm sure some of you weren't listening, but I'm going to say it again this month, so please don't kill me, chat. We're not going to be talking about the Panther Clipper this month. That will be saved for next month. We did show off some bits prior, but we've got something else to talk about this month, so we're not talking about the Panther Clipper. We will talk about more of it next month, but it's not for this month. This month, however, we do have a guest. So, and that guest is the wonderful, amazing Curtis. There he is. Hello. Big 07 from chat to you, Curtis. Thank you so much for coming in. So obviously we spoke a little bit about Vanguards, and I'm talking about squadrons. Do you want to talk to me about what Vanguards is and give us an outline of what we're trying to achieve with it?
Yeah, so with this release, what we're looking to do a big refresh of the Squadrons feature. So we're looking to make it a lot more user-friendly to interact with. So there's a lot less friction when creating and managing your squadrons. And also trying to make it a bit more new player-friendly as well, and a bit more incentive to join than we had before.
Yep, and also we're going to try hard to give a bit more identity to some of our squadrons, right?
Yes, yeah. So we're looking at making sure that when you're part of a squadron, like you really feel that you're part of that specific squadron, and other people that meet you out in the world also can recognise that you're part of, whatever your squadron's name is, etc.
Cool.
Very cool, very cool. So it's a couple of times it's been mentioned squadrons, Vanguard. Where have we kind of landed with this? Where are we kind of going out with it the most?
Yeah, so originally we were toying with the idea of renaming both the feature to Vanguards and having the update being called Vanguards, but after some further thought, we decided that actually we're going to stick with Squadrons as the name, because it's what everyone's used to. It describes what they are a little bit more. It feels a little bit more about camaraderie and about being together in community rather than
Makes a lot of sense,
Vanguards. Yeah, but Vanguards will still be the update name.
Gotcha.
All right, so I hope that's cleared it up. It's been a bit, we've been backwards and forwards a bit today, but I think that makes it quite succinct. So I guess when we take a look at this new update or revamp of Squadrons, and I'd say it's a revamp, it's almost like built from the ground up, So should we start from the beginning, and should we create a squadron or take us through? So what we're going to show, I think, as we go through this is these are some work in progress and some mock-ups of some of the screens that players are going to see. So please bear that in mind. This will be subject to change, as it always is. So please don't murder us if we get some of this is different. But have a look, see, and we'll talk about some of the numbers in a moment. Again, please remember, chat, everything you're seeing is WIP. It's work in progress, not necessarily final.
Yep.
Right. So talk us through this process.
Yep. So first of all, the way you get to the screen is the right-hand side of your cockpit panel. So for anyone that's interacted with Squadrons before, it's where it always was. But when you come to that screen, if you're not part of a squadron, this is what you'll be greeted with. And as you can see there highlighted, one of the options is to create your own squadron, providing you have the funds.
So we're saying, you said, what did you call it earlier on? You said, how much was the price of it?
It's 2 vultures worth.
Or in layman's terms, 10 million credits.
Yes.
But that, again, this is all work in progress,
Yes.
so these numbers might change. But 10 mil seems to be where we're starting for Squadrons.
Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. So you were mentioning earlier as well about the identifier for this and how we're kind of building on that as the sort of the look and feel. Are we going to be able to add some new logos and icons as part of this as well?
Yes, yeah. So I think we'll be showing that off a bit later. But we've really looked at sort of trying to tie everything into the identity. So one of the first things you'll be greeted with after you decide to create a squadron is filling out all of the details for the squadron. So the name, the ID. We've got something there called the motto, which you can sort of think of as like your battle cry or your sort of like mantra as a squadron. And then there's some other details around like what activities do you do.
And you can have more than one, right?
Yeah. If you're a squadron that just does everything, you just tick every box.
Yeah.
But equally, if you're a squadron that only does mining, you just tick the mining box, and that's all anyone will see when they look you up. Mining and
you can search for these activities as well, right? So
yes,
it's really
exactly. Yeah.
correctly.
So really thinking about like what is our squadron, what do we do, what do we like to play, who are we, and then you can set this up, and then you also have the option of as you do currently. Aligning yourself with a power and a minor faction, and there's some extra bits to do with that as well.
We'll talk a bit more about those later. I'm actually enjoying chat, pulling apart all of the footage that's on the screen. I knew this would happen, chat.
Yep.
Please remember, some of this might change, but you're getting a flavour for where we're about. But Sam, you had a question about the icons and logos, I think you said over there, right? You were saying that wrong.
Yeah, it looks like we can create our own icons and the logos now to kind of go alongside this. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so one of the things, again, with this whole idea of like identity and like who you are as a squadron, we now have a logo creator.
Cool.
We are supplying the players with a bunch of different icons that they can use, and you can add up to 3 layers to create your logo. You don't have to use all 3 layers if you don't want to. If you just want something nice and simple, you can. But you can use any combination of these icons to create the logo, which means you can create some really nice stuff like we're showing off there. Again, these are all subject to change, but something like this, and you can change the colors. Or if you want, you can create an absolute hideous monstrosity.
Don't look at me when you say that. Like, don't. Yes, I'm not the most creative, but I will try my best.
I think you're reading too much into that.
But just to reiterate, this isn't the final set of logos at all. So, and these are subject to change. So there may be even more logos, and you can see there's a scroll bar there. So that is not all of the logos you have, and you can obviously layer them.
Yep,
and colour them, right?
And colour every layer, yeah. So if you wanted to do one layer green, white, orange, you can do that. You can have them all orange if you really like the colour of our UI. Or you can do any combination that you can think of.
Nice, very nice.
Very nice, awesome. And so, where can we see these appearing? Like, how are these actually going to get used once you've made something?
So the first place you'll see it after creating a squadron is on your homepage, which I think we'll have a look at in a little bit. But it's also going to be something that players looking to join a squadron will see when they go browsing for squadrons, or when they search you up. As you can see here, they'll see your icon as one of the first things. But also, we are looking to provide you with a decal that has your icon on it that you can.
Very nice. Do you hear that, chat? Your squadron will get its own decal.
Yep. And then you can apply that to your ship, and it'll be a nice way to identify and to sort of like really represent your squadron when you're out in the black.
Bit of fame or bit of infamy, whichever one you're going to be doing, really. I guess, chat. I know which it's going to be, but still, I've got to give you the option, right? So that's really cool. Actually, I think allowing players that creativity to make their own logos and then see it out in the black is actually really exciting. And again, it goes back to cementing that squadron's identity within the galaxy. So it's really cool that you've done that. Yeah. But we're talking about our squadron that we're talking through this journey here, Curtis. So our squadron's now live. How would other commanders go about finding it?
So that screen we saw earlier where you had a bunch of that one there. So when you were on that big screen before where we chose to create a squadron, there was instead a button there that you could have used to go and search for a squadron. So if you're looking for a home rather than to create one of your own, you can go here and it pre-filters just basically a bunch of random squadrons. But as you can see at the top there, there's a load of different options for like narrowing that down. So if you're like someone that only likes to do trading, you can say, I only like to do trading and I really want to do it while supporting a power like Edmund or something. So you can search for both of those things, and it will only show you powers that have both trading as one of their activities and say that they are supporting Edmund, for example.
Nice. And then when you can click on these, you have a little bit more information, right?
Yes. You click on this and you basically get a bunch more information about the squadron. So you get to see how many players there are. It shows you their full suite of like tags and activities, what time zone they're in, roughly how often they play, a bunch of other information like that, and we have a nice little activity feed that shows you like what they've been up to recently. So like Commander Bob.
So this is equivalent of the squadron's Tinder profile, right? So this is where you get to look at what they're into. do you match with these people? You're going to swipe right in this squadron. I also like the fact you've got the commander portraits up there as well. That's a really nice touch.
That's a nice detail.
Yes, and it also highlights if any of your friends are in the squadron as well. So if you've got any friends there, we'll let you know.
Yeah. Okay. So that's cool. So that's a really easy way to find a squadron, find one that appeals to you, filter it down, and take a bit more of a detailed look at what they've been up to. And it's really cool. It shows activities as well that they've been doing, so you can get a real feel of like, this is a squadron for me. Yeah,
and they've got timestamps on them as well, so you get a good idea of how active the squadron is as well, which is something we're quite keen on people being like, active while they're playing.
Yes. Very good. Very good.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's jump back to our squadron now, the one we were creating it earlier. And we can take a look at the squadron homepage. Can you tell us a bit about how we access this and how we find it and what it's all about?
Yeah, so basically the same flow as we did to create it. You go to the right-hand side of your cockpit, and instead of being greeted with those three options that you had before, you'll now be greeted with this. And this is basically the hub for anything that you want to do in the squadron. So if you want to do any management work, if you're like one of the leadership, or if you want to just find someone that's in the squadron because you've decided like you're going to meet up and you're going to do some wing work or something. You can find them in the roster, for example, or you can look at the faction information which we provide if your squadron is aligned to a faction and all that sort of stuff.
Awesome. And we can see the bulletin board there as well. Yeah, so what does that involve?
So that's something which is similar to something that we have in Squadrons 1 that you can find on the comms panel, but we've moved it in here so it gets a bit more prominence and it's a bit clearer to read. And basically, it's basically a notice board, so it's anything that you would use a notice board for. So, Friday night we're going out killing some Fargoids, or
Poor Fargoids.
oh yeah, it's always the Fargoids.
Yeah.
Or like, congratulations to Commander Bob for finishing his 100th colonization attempt. You know, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess you could also use it, and the great thing about a bulletin board is it's impervious to time zones, right? So you'll be able to, if you have players that cross time zones, so they'll log in and see what the actual squadron's up to, and if perhaps you're trying to, I don't know, for argument's sake, push a minor faction somewhere in a particular system, you might want to leave a comment that says, hey, if you want to do it in this system so we can move that faction over. Maybe, perhaps, perchance, it's almost like these systems are linked together. Who knows?
Yeah, that is possibly a use case for it if you wanted to do that. And also, as you say, if people are offline and they want to leave like instructions for the squadron, like this is our current goal, they can make a bulletin for it, and they can even pin it as well, so it doesn't get lost as well.
Yeah, so you can pin your squadron, I guess your squadron's priority activity right at the top there. So that's really,
Exactly.
really cool.
Nice.
All right, so obviously, assuming that the squadron that Sam and I create is going to be super popular, and now obviously we've got all of these people in our squadron. How do we manage them? What roles can we give them and stuff like that?
So where you do a lot of the managing of the individuals, you'll find in the roster page, and depending on what permissions your rank has, which we'll go over in a moment, you can do certain things when selecting a player here. So the stuff that you can always do, like inviting to a team or to crew, adding a friend, or you know, if they've come across you or me, they might block us. But also if you've got certain permissions on your rank, you can also promote them, demote them. Like you can manage the sort of like the people in the squadron as well.
Cool. And of course, what do these missions allow you to do when you're in there? So I take it that also means you can, if needs be, you can remove someone from a squadron?
Yes, you can kick them if needs be, if you've got the right permission, but you can also do a lot of like managing of the squadron, so it's not all left to the leader. So like, for example, if you wanted to change the logo because you're going off to do something specific and you wanted to theme yourself for it, you can give out permissions to be able to change logos. You can also have permissions for people to be able to handle like applications. In fact, you could even create a rank specifically for handling applications, because as with current squadrons, all squadrons will start with 5 ranks that they can change the permissions of and customize them however they want. But we're also now allowing you to add up to 10 more for a total of 15.
So could you assign by like activity as well? So if you're if your squadron was into sort of multiple activities, so mining and maybe combat, you can have people in assigned to different areas?
Yeah, you definitely could. You can give them permissions that are appropriate for like whatever like activities and stuff that they're getting up to in the squadron, or you could just use them to like delineate people. If you're a really big squadron that works on colonization, you've got people that do a lot of like buying of stuff and moving it, you could give them like a special rank that like just lets people know when they're looking at the roster, oh, this person does this sort of stuff for the squadron.
Gotcha. So just a clarity of purpose, really, what this is for. That's great.
Exactly.
Really, really cool.
Awesome. Also leaderboards, I believe these are also quite an important part of the rework that you guys are doing for squadrons. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so we've got the leaderboards that we have in the current one, but when we were looking at them, one of the things that we found was that if you're a small, like, tight-knit squadron of, like, 10 to 20 people, you're going to really struggle to be competitive in the leaderboard if you're going up against, like, a big behemoth of a squadron that's got, like, 500 or so players. So what we've done is we've kept the idea of the everyone against everyone leaderboard, which is the primary one that we'll show you when you come to the UI. But we've also introduced 2 brackets where we only take the top 50 or the top 10 players from the squadron, and we only count their scores. So if you've got a squadron that's really good at bounty hunting, and they've got like 500 players and they're like top of the overall leaderboard, but then you've got another squadron that's only got 10 people, and
they are the best at bounty hunting.
They are the 10 best people at bounty hunting. They will actually win the top 10 bracket, even though they won't be able to win the all bracket, but they will win the top 10, and then each bracket gets the same rewards. So
it's a great way of
really
making
nice.
it fair for all, right? So no matter
Exactly.
how the size of the
Giving everyone
squadron,
access, yeah.
yeah, you've got a chance to be in there to get rewarded for your efforts. That's cool.
Exactly.
Very nice, awesome. Cool, I believe there's a bunch of perks as well that come with this. Do you want to kind of dig into that a bit?
Yes.
They were noted almost immediately at the start. I was like, there's perks there.
I am not surprised at all. But yes, so firstly, there's 2 types of perk that the squadron can have active at once. There's the primary perk, which is active all the time for everyone, no matter where they are, as long as the perk would be valid there, obviously. And then there's the second one where if the squadron has aligned themselves with a minor faction, then anywhere where that minor faction is in control of a system, that perk will be active.
Nice. So, just rolling this back and just thinking this through, to various different systems, just say we go out and we colonize a star system and bring our minor faction in there,
Yep.
and then we start expanding that system out over time. That both of our perks for that squadron will work in all of our systems, right? And then we can just keep growing them and growing them and growing until maybe we bump into another squadron or another faction, and we have to, I'm sure, make political negotiations.
Yeah, talk it out.
Yeah, there'll be absolutely no pew-pewing at all.
No,
but it'll
no-
just
no
be
lasers, no
no
nothing.
lasers. But it's really cool actually that the perks. Can you give us an example of what some of the perks might be?
Yeah, so we've got some sort of simple ones like XP increase for when you're ranking up. So if your squadron really wants to get like everyone to like triple elite, you could activate one like that. To some slightly more like bespoke and specific ones, like reducing the synthesis cost of certain things like premium ammo and limpets and stuff like that. Also to some slightly more abstract ones like insurance for your cargo. So if your ship blows up, we will basically refund you the cost of some of the cargo that you brought,
Nice.
so that it wasn't a complete like waste getting blown up.
So, and again, these are all subject to change, and we're working through
Yeah.
some of these. Obviously, when we're looking at perks, I guess the difficulty for all of us is to make sure we don't do anything that's too egregious.
Yes.
And again, like anything, when we put this stuff into the game, we will be keeping a very close eye on what you do, which is probably not what we expect, but you will do it anyways. And then we might do some tweaking afterwards just to make sure there isn't a perk that's way too overpowered, etc., etc., etc. So
Yes,
just
yeah.
caveat that right now, chat. They're not final, and we will be looking at them after they go in, just to make sure we're not doing something too silly. The other thing I want to talk about that players may or may not notice on that home screen was there was something there that said bank, le banque.
Yes, the
What
bank.
is this all about?
Yeah, so as soon as you create a squadron, you get access to a bank. And initially, it is just a bank, storing credits. You have these things that we have the concept of, which are called permission groups. If it helps, you can think of them as accounts. And what these allow you to do is these allow you to have stores of, in this case, credits, where multiple ranks can access the same permission group. But with different limits. So, for example, you might go, oh, okay, we want a fund for everyone's repair bill. So everyone, that they can just take money out of the bank every week up to a limit to repair their ship and stuff. And for like the normal members, you might only give them like 500,000 credits, just a little bit, because you've probably got a lot of those
Yeah.
members at that rank. But then maybe the officers get like 50 million or something like that.
Yeah.
And that all comes out of the same bucket, but at different rates. And anyone with permissions can set up those permission groups and set the quotas that they can have.
Yeah. So we're just picking subjects. Obviously, squadrons define what they want those buckets to be. So that's really, really cool. And you mentioned limits. Are there limits to what can be stored?
Yeah, so as I said, at first you get access to credits and they're stored in the bank, and you need
Something else?
you need something to spend the credits on.
Why would you be saving credits though? What possibly could you want to be as a squadron? What would a squadron want?
Something big and movable.
Something big and movable, like almost like a squadron carrier.
Almost like a squadron carrier.
There we
yes.
go.
Here we go.
There it is. And these are really cool, actually. So shout out to Simon and the team for putting this together. So you can actually put together a squadron carrier. Now, yes, it operates similar to a fleet carrier, but there are some significant differences here. So do you want to talk us through what's so special about this?
Yeah, so first of all, obviously, as you can see, it's a bit bigger than a normal fleet carrier. So you can fit a lot of the squadron on there all at once. I can't wait for the videos of someone on the deck and everyone's lifting off at the same time.
Oh, that's going to be epic. Absolutely epic.
I want to see them. But also, with a normal fleet carrier, obviously, it's yours and you're the one managing it and you're the one deciding, where it jumps to and everything. But as a squadron, it's the squadron's carrier. So anyone with permissions can do that. So the leader doesn't always have to be there to manage where does it go.
So you can have a captain and a first officer and a...
Exactly.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly. You can live out your Star Trek dreams.
Yes, you've seen me straight away. Okay, fine.
But also one of the other benefits of getting the fleet carrier is obviously, as we can see, this one's quite a lot bigger than a normal one. And part of that is so that it's got some more storage space for a physical bank. So
Right.
This one will be commodities, personal items, so that's like the goods and the assets that you get on foot and stuff. But also, you can store ships in the bank for your squadron.
That's very useful.
Yes. So you could imagine that perhaps maybe you're a mostly trading squadron, but some of your members want to try some combat out. So maybe some generous members of the squadron will put together some ships, put them in the bank, and then someone else from the squadron can take them out and can give them a test run, before sort of dedicating themselves to going through the process of setting one up themselves. There are some limits on what you can put on the ships. They will be explained to you when you try and put it on. The big one is there's no engineered modules, but you can outfit it in any way you want. So if you want to give them an A-rated Fer-de-Lance, put that in the bank and someone else can take it out.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and obviously cosmetics as well. We won't be able to, because they're linked to player accounts stuff. I think players will understand that part of it.
Yeah.
But I think the real cool thing about looking at, and there's a lot of the meta for this is going to blow my mind, because what squadrons will be able to do with this carrier is move it along. Now you can do it. It's just a squadron carrier, but you can also use it to, we can have a squadron filled with mining craft, and you want to go to a certain area, and we use mining to influence the BGS, or you want to go to influence the whatever power play you want to be doing. These are real tactical units to be used by squadrons, and I can't wait to see how players will go through and start utilising this incredible new feature and all the facilities that come with it. So I think we have an idea, but as always with our players, you'll do something totally different, and we'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, we should have anticipated this, but we haven't. Before I ask you what you think players were going to do with this feature, is there anything you think we might have missed off at this? So we're only still really scratching the surface. There's so much more to go into on this, but it's a really cool feature that's coming in and still scheduled for summer. So we're still looking forward to getting this out for you. How do you think players are going to interact with it? What do you think you're going to see?
I think we're going to see a lot of things. I think we're going to see, the more obvious ones. Your groups that are around, doing certain activities like Fargoid hunting, trading, all that sort of stuff. I'm very looking forward to squadrons going out there and doing a lot of colonization and using the squadron bank for that and stuff like that. We're also hoping that with the sort of the new UI and the refresh and everything, that we'll see an influx of new players wanting to join squadrons, as we've made it hopefully a lot easier for them to join, and a lot more enticing as well, because there's a lot more practical benefit to joining a squadron now as well. So, new players helping them out, and just squadrons going around having fun and showing.
Absolutely not fighting each other, but yes,
absolutely not fighting each other. No, definitely not
that. Yeah. Look, I think it's going to be great. I think it's a fantastic way. I think it's a fantastic mechanic for the game. As is, I think for all of our players that we have, I think it's going to be a wonderful tool for them to embrace. I've seen chat go off about it already. I think there's already significant communities in Elite, which we all know about anyway. So I think providing a tool that works as we intended. We had a go at Squadrons the first time around. It didn't quite land how we wanted it to work. Very much like Power Play, we've come back and gone, look, actually, we there's merit in the idea, but actually we're going to deliver it in a way that's going to work for our players. So I'm really keen to see what it is, but also the part you touched on there. For new players, I know Elite's vast and it can be quite daunting, but I think allowing players to jump into a game and immediately find a like-minded source, exactly, and then have experts help them, and maybe if they've got a carrier, they can give them a ship to go out and try something, and it's going to be great. It's going to be really, really cool to come along and have a look at this. So, Curtis, we will probably drag you by your heels back to the sofa again for some more information on this. But thank you so much for coming in again and staying late for us. I really, really appreciate it. Have some 07s in the chat, please, for Curtis.
Yeah.
There we go. Awesome sources. Right, before we end and wrap up the show, we do have a winner. We should give away the winner. Do you want to? I'm not going to try and read this name out. You're welcome, by the way.
I know. I'm just going to spell this out. So yes, congratulations to Jhin81. That is JHYN81.
There we go.
Maybe two N's.
It was two
cannot
N's.
see
It's
from
either
this
two N's or it's
distance.
an M.
Yes.
I have no idea.
One
I'm
or
too
the
old.
other. But yes, congratulations.
Check
yes.
for a whisper or whatever it is you get on Twitch. I think it's a whisper. I don't know, whisper, maybe a DM, but just make sure you get the official whisper from us, and that will be your way to confirm and give us our details. And Fuchsia Adam is doing something really strange with the notes on stream. Thank you very much, Adam. That's great. So we're back. Well, you're back. Next, it'll be Wednesday, 20th of June. It's been a wonderful show. We have loads to go through. We talked about Planet Coaster 2, what's coming, update 6, and all the good stuff there. The what was it? Gift shop, souvenir shop.
Souvenir shops and two themes, you guys.
Two themes, yeah, Pirate and Fairy Tale.
Very exciting, yeah.
We've got the updated water graphics coming tomorrow in update 5.
Yes.
And there was also the on-ride photos for
Yes.
that. We talked about, well, you teased Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo
Yes.
for PC, the next key
we
out.
saw the key art there, Honey Badger.
Honey Badger's on there, and then obviously the Barnyard Pack is out for consoles, available to buy now.
Yep.
And then obviously the wonderful Curtis joined us to talk about Vanguard's update featuring the rework of Squadrons and all the good stuff there.
Yes.
Obviously Squadron Fleet Carrier, the
Amazing stuff
bank,
there.
all the cool
Yeah,
stuff in
yeah.
there. It's been a
Incredible
great show.
work by the team.
What a one to go out on. Thank you to everyone who's joined us. It's been an absolute honour to be here. 07 Commanders. I'll see you all in the black. Goodbye.